The significance and purpose of the virgin birth. The first thing Jesus did for our salvation was to come into the world through the Virgin Mary. However, the significance of Jesus' virgin birth, conceived in a virgin's womb and born in a manner different from ordinary people, is often not fully understood. Many know it as an event symbolizing humility, marked by his birth in a manger. Yet there's a deeper meaning. The reason for Jesus' virgin birth was a foundational event for human salvation. It required a sinless body to take on humanity's sins. For salvation, someone born without sin had to live sinlessly, and then take on humanity's sins, paying the price with death. Since Adam, a sinless flesh did not exist. Thus, God sent Jesus, sinless, to earth. Jesus being conceived in Mary without physical relations with Joseph, her husband, underscores this necessity. This miraculous conception was essential to ensure Jesus was born free of sin, setting the stage for the ultimate sacrifice for humanity's salvation. Despite Mary being a sinner, the conception and birth of Jesus through her did not perpetuate sin's transmission. The notion that Mary could somehow avoid inheriting sin from her parents and live a life without sinning is unfeasible. Even if it were possible, it negates the need for Jesus to come to earth. Salvation could just be attributed to Mary's suffering on the cross, which fundamentally misunderstands the purpose of Jesus' incarnation and the virgin birth. The significance of the virgin birth isn't about diminishing its importance, but must be understood in the context of salvation. In Luke chapter 1, the angel Gabriel visits Mary in the town of Nazareth in Galilee, greeting her with, "Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you." When Mary is startled by his greeting, Gabriel assures her, "Do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God." The mention of favor or grace here carries dual implications. Firstly, that Mary has been chosen by God, and secondly, that she has received a unique and temporal grace for salvation. The grace of salvation is described in Ephesians 2:8 as, "For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith. And this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God." Here, the grace refers to the universal grace available to all humanity through faith in Jesus Christ for salvation. However, the grace bestowed upon Mary was a special and temporary grace for salvation, to enable Jesus to be born without sin, a necessary condition for him to take on the sins of humanity. This grace ensured that Mary was in a sinless state until the birth of Jesus. After Jesus' crucifixion, Mary, like everyone else, became a recipient of the general grace of salvation available through Jesus. The significance of the virgin birth lies in the necessity of Jesus being born without inherited sin, setting the stage for him to take on humanity's sins. This event marks the beginning of Jesus extending grace to us, the first act in the process of salvation. Jesus was born sinless, lived a sinless life, and then took on the sins of humanity, paying the price of those sins through his death on the cross, thereby completing the work of salvation. Those who believe in their hearts and confess with their mouths, as stated in Romans 10, attain righteousness and are saved. I hope that you too will embrace this truth in your heart through faith, finding your way to salvation.
구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정 해주세요. Subscribe, like, set notifications.